Hi, and welcome to There's Not Really a Good Way to Start This Episode in
In
5D.
5D. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I, I mean, the reason we're running a little bit late is because we spent some time discussing and we decided that we don't know.
yeah. We don't have a good answer for this. Sorry if anybody finds what we're about to do sort of untimely or crass but this is not a kind of thing that I think a lot of people have to do very often, I hope.
Yep. Hope not.
And we just don't have a better way to do this. Do you want to Rochambeau for who actually has to do it?
I I mean, I feel like if this happens live, yeah, let's
Well,
go.
wait, you want to do a dice roll off just because I have that here easier? I think there's
Sure.
there's a
Yeah.
timing thing with
I
the
could
internet.
bust out a thing.
Yeah, we'll just roll a 20 sider and like lowest score goes.
All right, here we
Do we want
go.
to like show them for the audience, I guess?
I mean, I guess we really I can't, but
I
I'll
can
just
just tilt my camera.
yeah, mine doesn't do that right now.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Whatever.
whatever.
I got a 15.
I have a 7.
Yeah, that's gonna be you there, killer.
All right. Um. Hey, everybody.
That's how you started. Hey,
Hey.
hello, hi.
So, for those who have been listening, in order of publication, they've noticed that our third host hasn't been around for a couple of episodes now, and this episode's probably going to air
Next
right.
week.
Or yeah, right around the time, or either right after uh, the funeral.
Yep.
But um, our third host passed away. What would have been for us here last week, and he was in the hospital, and some stuff happened. Like I don't want to go into details because it's not
Yeah,
up.
and
It's not for me. It's the family's
yeah,
business. But it was unexpected, and we have messages from him like from the night before, so it's just unexpected.
yeah. Really blindsided.
Really blindsided. We've had about a week to process. Um, I can only speak for myself on this, but yeah, it was difficult when it first happened. This is someone that I've known for some time, not just doing the podcast, but on the stream, and a friend. We've gone out and had drinks and all that kind of stuff, and it impacted me. So I have no good way of saying that I'm gonna miss Clops. He was a counterpoint to us on the pod, but more importantly, he was a great person. Unless you played video games with him, because he was kind of a dick.
Yeah,
But that's just who we are. No, Clops is gonna be missed, and that's all I got. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, just not to be exhaustive about it. It's more. It's really strange. It's a strange spot to be in. Just because of how much time we spent with the guy. I mean, obviously, doing this, doing the live streams, and outside of work, we went and we hung out with him a bunch, and whatever. So it's just kind of weird to kind of figure out what to do going forward. I was even recording an episode of the Bias Bros, but that one actually has a build log. But the Bias Bros does a thing. And at the end, we close it out saying like where you can find us, and I'm so you like Wednesdays, me and Clops stream a game. I don't know if that stream's going to continue. I don't know if I'm going to pick that up and go with it. I don't know if somebody else from his channel, because he does share his channel with a few people. I don't know if one of them there's just so much, and it seems trivial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why does any of that matter when a stream is going to happen? But it's a thing. I do have to make a decision on
Well,
what happens with that.
and I
I
think
don't
more
know.
importantly, it's also it's also one of the biggest connections you had, right? So it makes
Sure.
sense that at moments like this, you'd think of something that, yes, is trivial, but could be significant. Yeah, I was
Right.
definitely thinking on that, and we had discussed that we weren't even sure if we were going to do this episode.
Yeah.
Um, it's a weird place to be in. We've never lost a host like that,
Right.
and obviously not just a host, but just talking to the podcast audience. Our personal emotions aside, there's this whole like the show must go on, and what would Clops want us to do, and yeah, so there's a lot of that. It's just a weird place to be, but what I think we're just gonna have to take some time, maybe reflect, and we'll figure it out in our brains, and we'll slowly start to just figure out how to move past it, both personally and here with Metagame Network and 5D Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bear with, like, this show isn't going anywhere. Bias Bros isn't going anywhere. I think the Tuesday stream is fairly unaffected,
Yeah.
in terms of like time and all that.
Yeah.
But it's really, I mean, obviously the stuff that he was running on his own. So I know he was doing some online game reviews. He was doing a couple of streams a week, and then the game me and him were in. We'll probably eventually fill these spots with something. But we don't know right now, and I don't know that we're in a hurry. It seems kind of gross just to like fill a spot really quick. Like, we're not a
Yeah.
network. We don't have sponsors or anything. We don't need to do that. So we'll let it breathe, and when something comes up naturally, we'll do that.
Yeah. And
I know, weirdly, a D&D game that Eduardo and I are in has many of the same players that a D&D game Clops and I were in, and weirdly, a lot of them seemed like overly interested in doing an episode or two of this podcast with us to fill episodes.
yeah, so I was just gonna say one of the ideas we are throwing around was just doing a bunch of guest hosts and
Yeah.
maybe firing them all at the end or something.
Yeah. I
Out
like
of
it.
out of a cannon though.
Out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Into space.
Into el espacio.
Is that how you say that?
In a certain context, yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Fair enough.
okay, so along the same kind of subject here, right? Clops passing in morning. I fell back on my usual comforts, which are shit I've already done, shit I've already seen, that kind of thing.
Cocaine and hookers. I hear you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Cocaine. No. So I actually, one of the nights that felt the greatest, that just felt like I could really escape was I sat down and I watched Scott Pilgrim with my wife, and we ate shitty food.
Boy, if that isn't literally my favorite movie of all time.
So I wanted to talk about it because
I'm so happy right now.
Every year or every couple of months, we have to talk about Scott Pilgrim because I feel like every time I watch it, I discover new things. I will say that this time I'm watching it, and this is going to make me sound elitist, but bear with me. This time I'm watching it, I'm in a temp space, so there's a little like tiny TV, and it actually makes a difference and changes the experience. This is a movie I would say best enjoyed on at least a higher definition TV. Because and it's not what you think. It's not necessarily the visuals, it's the audio. If the TV's tiny fucking speakers can't handle the soundtrack, it lessens the experience.
Yeah, I buy that, actually. His movies are made to really capture certain aesthetics that he's after. And yeah, having equipment that can't pull that aesthetic properly, I could very much see really affecting how that movie plays. I'm for this as a thing.
Yeah, and I want to go back and see this in a movie theater while on at least 40 milligrams of THC.
They did do a theater run for the anniversary that just happened.
Oh, that makes
it would have been much bigger had COVID not been a thing.
Yeah,
but
that's
they
fair.
they did do something, I thought, or maybe they were going to and it got canceled. But that was supposed to be a thing, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, this has to. I wish this. Where do we apply to Rocky Horror Picture Show this? Where we just turned it into a thing. I want to throw garlic bread at people.
What? So you do it during the bread makes you fat, and then you throw garlic bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like that.
I'm for this.
And then you throw I don't know what, like dolls when they keep talking about how young the girl is. Something. We can make it weird. No.
You do every time Knives has like a big over crush moment, you just yell senpai.
That's actually pretty funny.
It'll work.
Yeah. We should start it. We should start a thing, but it's gonna have to start on Zoom because Rona.
Yeah, because you can't do that. I mean, in adjacent news to this, though, Ubisoft announcing that they're going to re-release. They're going to re-release. They're going to re-release the Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up game.
I don't know if I'm in or if I'm out. I was in, and then you told me stories, and then I was right back out.
What stories did I tell you? How hard it is. Yeah. It's a hard game, but it's really supposed to be played on multiplayer.
Okay.
So if it does like a Switch release or something, maybe you and I can, and it's up to 4 players, I think. So
yeah. Okay.
Maybe we can do some stream for it if we can set that up or something. But yeah. I'm just glad it's out, and I'm really hoping it gets a physical release this time.
Okay, I thought you were talking about. Oh no, this is an official re-release. This isn't like
Ubisoft is putting this back out in celebration.
Oh, that's right. I missed that part of it. Okay, huh? Yeah, maybe we can do something over the interwebs and knock some shit out as Scott Pilgrim.
I'm actually seeing if is this for sale yet? Oh my god, Eurogamer. I'm getting this on Eurogamer. Holiday. So it'll be out this holiday, and it looks like it'll be out on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, and Google Stadia.
Oh, what are you going to get?
It doesn't say whether it's a physical release, though, which kind of bothers me. I'm really hoping it's a physical release.
What platform are you going to get it on? Because if we're going to play multiplayer, let's stick to a platform.
Yeah, let's all pretend like Devin's only going to buy this once.
Nice. I like that accent that you threw there at the end. All right, so the movie is Scott Pilgrim. We've talked about it a bunch.
Oh yes, my fault.
Well, that and well, it was just great. So visually, the scene with the twins is
the
by
Katyanage twins.
Yeah, it's by far one of my favorite visual fights.
Oh yeah, using the sound to bolster the attack power of their summoned beasts.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I kind of want to watch it again on a bigger screen now.
I would play that Guitar Hero game.
Right?
You gotta like jam out really good on these parts to fuel up your Sasquatch demon and attack fucking whatever. I'd play that.
That's like a lot of the gemstone fighters. I love those.
Gemstone fighters?
Yeah. So what it is they even had a Street Fighter version where you just connect a bunch of gems and make them pop like a Connect 5 or whatever.
Oh yeah. I have that on the PlayStation Classic has that. It actually is really fun.
Yeah, I love that shit. There was that, and then there was one with robots that I on the original PlayStation that was fucking fantastic.
Okay,
and you
had play that
robots that they beat the shit out of each other. Like it was.
That's the only fighting game that I stand a chance at. It's that one.
Yeah, that's true. But then they also had a version of Castlevania, well, a mobile version called from Symphony of the Moon, I believe, where it's that way. But every time you get into a fight, instead of fighting, you do a puzzle battle,
Oh yeah, like a puzzle quest kind of thing.
kind of like that. Yeah, but this
I'd,
was
I'd, I'd play that.
yeah.
That sounds great.
I did, and unfortunately though, after a little while, because it was a free to play,
Mm.
the little like grindy bits got to be too obnoxious.
Like every grind, I'll be honest. I started the Kingdom Hearts mobile game. I don't hate it yet.
Yet.
Most mobile games turn shit,
Yeah,
but
I
we'll
actually
see.
just started playing. There's a new Harry Potter gem.
Match 3 game. My wife
Yeah,
is playing it.
I am too, because I'm a Harry Potter whore.
Yep, sounds right.
All right, so what other shit have you been watching?
I just did Umbrella Academy. Actually, I did seasons 1 and 2. Because I was like,
Oh, you rewatched it?
yeah, I rewatched season 1 and then jumped right into season
Okay, I
2.
feel like I need to do that. I did not watch the last episode of season 1. I don't know how it ends.
Oh, it sets up a bunch of I really can't review season 2 at all if you haven't seen the last
It's
episode
okay.
of season
Go ahead
1.
and spoil it for me.
So they all go back in time, except Five fucks up the time jump again,
That's his
uh,
kind of that's his thing.
and they all wind up in the same city but in different years. So
Okay.
they're all in Dallas, but scattered throughout the 1950s and 60s, I believe.
Okay.
So we kind of do a bit of a time jump to when they all are in the same year again. Yeah, that explains a lot of the clothes that you're seeing in this
Yeah.
image, by the way. Uh, but we kind of jump ahead, and there's a new end of the world.
Okay.
The world does well. I don't. Damn it. There's a new end of the world, but in the 70s. So like
Okay.
they've pushed it back. So they,
Okay.
they jump away from the end of the world in 2019. They go back in time, and then Five discovers that there's a new one that's going to happen in like 1968. Whatever. It's like 7 days after Kennedy is shot.
Okay.
A world war will break out and destroy all life on Earth, and it's their fault. They did something traveling back in time, and they got to go fix it. But they
Okay.
got to wait till they're all in the same time period before they can do something. So in that time, Diego gets committed to an insane asylum. Klaus starts a cult. Largely based off of song lyrics that haven't been invented yet.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm blanking on her rumor. Allison kind of gets married and helps try and further the end of segregation, that whole movement. She becomes a part of that movement and starts trying to encourage people to do that. And then Luther joins an underground boxing ring and gets involved with mobsters. That one's honestly the weakest of all of them. And then Vanya ends up with amnesia and is living on a farm with an autistic kid and a lady.
Okay. Okay. I missed so much. I thought I maybe just missed the last episode. Maybe I missed more than the last episode of season
What
1.
has you totally lost?
Um the last way the plot was leading, the one that I forget her name now, Jesus. The one that they thought didn't have powers actually had like
Vanya,
world-breaking
that's the one
powers.
in the lower
Vanya,
right.
sorry, yeah, Vanya. And yeah, she was losing her goddamn shit because of that boyfriend dude who I don't fucking remember much other than that from.
He was a creeper.
Yeah, he's a total creeper, but he didn't have any fucking powers, right? He was just
No, he did not have powers. He was a wannabe back in the day. He was born on the same day they were, so he
Yeah, I
assumed he
remember
could have
that.
powers and be a part of the Umbrella Academy, but he wasn't one of the mysterious births. He was just some asshole born on that day.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. So then, what happens? How do they stop Vanya from losing her shit?
Um, they don't. That's why they jump back in time. She calls the moon down onto the Earth and destroys all life on Earth, and they jump away right before the Earth is destroyed.
Okay, so that end is still coming.
No, well, so the end of season two. I'll go ahead and I'll give you a little spoiler for that. Anybody who doesn't want to hear the end, and this has been out for a hot minute. Like I didn't like watch it the fucking day it came out or anything. It's been like a month or two. But if you don't want to hear it, earmuffs. Uh, I'll wave my hands for anybody watching live or something. For the people on the audio, I'll blink twice, and that's how you'll know when to put the headphones back on. Spoiler. So the end of season two, they jump back home to present day, and they jump straight into their house. And their dad is there, and he's like, "You're not my fucking kids, and this isn't the Umbrella Academy. This is the Sparrow Academy." And then we only see the silhouettes of 5 kids, but the dead one, Ben, is back, but he doesn't know who they are. He's alive, he never died, but he has no idea who these kids are.
Oh, okay. So more fuckiness.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there was a whole bit in this one where like they do go back in time and they see their dad, and like try and convince him they're from the future, and he's like, "Fuck you, I hate kids. Why would I have kids? You're all full of shit." And then he ends up doing it and just not with those kids because he's a dick.
Just to be a dick.
Yeah. So and for the uninitiated, I'm explaining this in chat as well. But if you don't know what the Umbrella Academy is, it's a comic book turned TV show. The comic book is done by Gerard Way, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. Whether that's a plus or minus from you, that's a personal decision. I actually own it. I'm not a big fan of the first volume, and I really question buying the second because like I have had some stuff where I'm like, wow, the first volume was weak, but it really picks up. And I've had the opposite. I've had stuff where it gives a really first volume, and then the second one's garbage, you know? So, but man, and it's not just me. I'm not being extra harsh. I'm not letting my feelings on his band come into play here. I read it. My wife read it. My brother read it. Everybody I've handed this comic to has walked away going, wow, that's really not very good. The show, despite the comic, though, fantastic. Really, really enjoy the show. Just did not like the comic.
What did you not like about the comic?
Um, it's just kind of bland. And it doesn't
Okay.
seem like anybody has any strong motivations. It just kind of felt like here's some wacky stuff. That's all happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just kind of bad. But maybe I need to do a reread. Maybe I need to get to the second one and that like informs some of that stuff. Like I don't know. Clearly it was good enough to get picked up and there are a lot of fans of it out there. So maybe I just didn't give it a solid enough run. But yeah, I really don't enjoy the book that I have. But the show's great. Really like the show.
Yeah, I started reading Umbrella Academy. I think I read the entire first volume.
Did you like it?
I was left unsatisfied.
So
That
kind of
was the
like,
feeling.
little bland, little
Yeah, it was like
lacking.
okay. Um and at that point I thought I had been around for a while cuz I was like maybe these are just other tropes that other people have kind of already stepped on.
Maybe.
Yeah, but hey, I didn't hate it, so there's that.
Yeah, yeah, that's totally fair. It. I've read worse. I've read worse.
Well, yeah, come on. I like indie comics, so yeah, me too.
That's fair.
Don't get me wrong. Some of these things are gems, but some of them are just hot garbage.
But summing up season two in entirety, I did like the season. A lot of like fun new stuff happening. Decent tie up for some old characters and things. But I am glad that we're not doing any more stuff in the past.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we're getting back to 2019, and I like that's going to be an alternate 2019, and who knows what other fuckery we're going to do from there. But I don't know. It's not that it was bad, just that I think a season of it was enough. if I wanted to watch a show about like superheroes in the 1950s, I'd demand we make a Black Hammer show instead, because that's just better at doing that than Umbrella Academy ever could be. Ever told you about Black Hammer?
I don't know what this is.
Oh, dude, Black Hammer is so good. So Black Hammer is basically takes a bunch of like 1940s, 50s like pulp sci-fi tropes and turns them into characters, but then sets them as superheroes from a world of superheroes who battle the end all like Ragnarok Armageddon creature. And they manage to kill it, but in killing it, they're teleported to an alternate reality where no one has superpowers but them. But they cannot leave this small farm and the town that it's in. Like literally, if something that like they brought with them goes beyond a certain point, it fucking disappears.
Huh.
If they build a ship and try and sail the ship up, it fucking disappears. They're trapped in this small town and they're the only ones with powers. And so it's just sort of about them like struggling to survive and like figure out what's going on with them and how to get home.
Okay.
It's super fun. And like it's so weird to see a superhero comic that doesn't involve superheroing. Like they're not fighting any monsters or anything. So like one girl is the Shazam equivalent. She says a word of power and transforms. But the being she transforms into is a child. And she has this power from the time of a child to well in her like 50s or 60s. But when she gets teleported to this town, she's stuck in the child form. And the child form never ages. She's been there for like 4 or 5 years, and they have to keep wiping her teacher and classmates' mind so that she can keep rejoining the 4th grade. Meanwhile, she's this mean, chain-smoking, drunk 8-year-old who's like, I don't care that my body is 8 years old. I'm an adult. Mentally, I'm an adult. I can't keep going to 4th grade. I can't keep dealing with these people. This is hell.
That sounds hilarious.
So good. It's so good.
That's funny.
There's like an alien warrior from another planet, another planet called Barbalian. But it's an alien. It doesn't have the same male-female gender issues, but the human that it happened, like it can turn itself human and like walk around, but the human it happens to turn it into is male. But it finds itself attracted to a male, and it's like, well, I'm not even technically gay. I'm just an alien in this form in love with this dude. But it's like weird 1950s rural South where they're like, that's not okay. And to make it even better, it's a priest that he falls in love with.
This is a comic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should read the crap.
And they play it like it's not meant to be comedic. It's just the stuff is so over the top and left field that you're like, fuck. But they play it all serious and it hits, dude. It hits as a hard drama where you're just like, oh, fuck. It's so good. Black Hammer's so good.
Okay.
I'd totally watch a Black Hammer show.
Instead of an Umbrella Academy show.
If we're going to do stuff in the 1950s, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you like this enough. Do you want a season 3?
Yeah, but I think after season 3 we might be done.
Okay.
I don't see this going for 10 seasons. That's just going to get fucking monotonous.
Yeah, there can't always be a doom.
Right.
I
think you do the Netflix 3, right? I actually, a lot of people are trashing Netflix for doing the hard 3 on seasons. I think there's a lot of shows that you can do what you need to do in 3 seasons. You're choosing not to.
To be fair, though, there are a bunch of shows that, like, should have gone longer, or you just could cut shit off. Like, God, I wish Fringe would have gone on more, but they would have cut out a bunch of the bullshit in the center.
I finished Fringe, but I liked Fringe better when it was Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
Once it got every season was just this long running narrative kind of shit. I could not keep my attention on it anymore. started so good. It was like a modern X-Files, man, and
Yeah,
then they
it was
had to
pretty
go
good.
and change it up.
I don't know
Frog and
why.
bullfish.
Why are you censoring yourself?
It's a bunch of frog and bullfish, bro.
I still want another season of Angel. The comic book, like, I know it's out there and I read most of it, but it wasn't the same.
Have you tried the new comic yet?
Oh no, which one?
So Boom bought the rights, and they're doing a full reboot of both Buffy and Angel. Like, it's Buffy first arriving to Sunnydale, Angel getting like more fleshed out background, and into him getting to Sunnydale. It's full fleshed out.
Oh, is this comic book made for teenagers? Because I think I'm gonna have to go read a teenager comic book.
Um, no, it's no, it's fine.
I do like me. I always liked Angel more than I liked Buffy. If I'm being 100% honest.
Um,
The show.
yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Like, I'm not gonna talk about the characters, but yeah, this show, it felt more Monster of the Week and Detective-y, the Angel, where I felt that Buffy had a lot of teenage drama.
In later seasons, yeah.
Yeah.
The early seasons weren't so bad, and then later seasons became like hard drop. But it also shifted networks, and that changed a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that also happened to Roswell, my favorite teen drama.
Which oh, I never finished that one. I started it with you though.
Yeah. We watched a bunch of teen dramas together. We ended up watching the OC as well.
I don't think I finished it though. I don't think I finished either one.
I don't think I finished it. Though I know the one we finished though was Popular. You remember that shit?
Which one?
Popular.
That doesn't even sound familiar. What is that?
It was a teen drama. It was a Degrassi style teen drama, and it had do you remember Iron Man, the first Iron Man? The blonde girl reporter that Tony Stark sleeps with.
I mean, I remember it happening, but no, I don't remember the girl.
She was in Talladega Nights. She was the wife, Ricky Bobby's wife.
Fuck, I hate that movie.
I know. I'm reaching here, but that show, I think that was like her start. She was also Peter's wife in the League. She was Megan.
Okay, yes.
Megan.
That's
yeah,
all
her.
Yes.
So Popular was the show that she was on, and then she was starring that show with another girl that looks like the actress that played Robin. And God, I am terrible with celebrity names. I shouldn't even be on a media podcast. I sort of fuck. But yeah, do you remember this show now? Popular.
Nope. No, all the people you're talking about, but no, this does not sound familiar at all.
Yeah, we watched teen drama, all 3 seasons.
I'm trying to pull it up, but weirdly, it's slightly more difficult to do than you think. Aired on the WB. Oh, okay, Ryan Murphy. This is all looking like it tracks pretty well. Brooke McQueen and Sam McPherson. Popular cheerleader and an unpopular journalist. Forced to socialize when their mothers get engaged. This does not sound familiar at all.
Yeah, I feel like you blocked this out of your mind, but we watched this together on your couch while drunk and high. Well,
yeah, that sounds...
I was drunk, you were high. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sandra Oh's in it. Not a whole lot else, but... Wow, yeah, this doesn't sound... it only did 2 seasons, apparently.
Really?
That's what this
okay.
says.
All I know is that we watched all of it.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, but then again, you like Degrassi, so it tracks.
That's because Degrassi's fantastic?
You don't... You really? Is it
I'm rewatching it now, and I'm still enjoying it.
okay? Is it like Boy Meets World? Like what could you compare it to that I may have sort of have an inclination?
Did you ever watch Skins?
No.
Oh, Skins is so good. Okay. Degrassi is like Boy Meets World with more balls,
Okay.
and but Canadian.
I know Degrassi was Canadian. Yeah.
Okay, but Skins is like Degrassi with way more balls, but British.
Okay. Okay. So this is a rated R teen drama.
No, this is like a rated PG-13. Degrassi is a rated PG-13, and Skins is like a rated R.
Okay.
Skins gets fucked up, bro. Skins is one of those shows where, like, literally, I was watching this and my jaw was on the floor. So I'm like, wow, that's what we're gonna do. Okay.
All right. Fair
It
enough.
gets fucked up. So I think Skins does three series, and each series is 2 seasons. So each one is a class of high school students, but you always meet a couple of the next cast in the run before it.
Okay.
And it's kind of Degrassi's actually similar. Degrassi uses like an evolving cast. So each season, some kids graduate or move away, and each season, some new kids come in. And so like it's constantly sort of rolling over who's in and who's not.
Yeah. There was a particular. I mean, it was different, but there was a show in Spanish called Carrusel, which is just carousel, and it was about one particular teacher, and she had a class of students, and I believe eventually they ended up doing that, whereas the kids were getting older, and it was no longer believable that one teacher could stay with those kids.
Right.
Then they started to swap out the kids, and I believe they've done several seasons of that. I remember my mother used to watch it a lot.
So I'd say the only big difference between that and these are more focused on the kids. The adults are all tertiary characters. The kids are the main focus. Um, so Degrassi was more made as like a harsh lesson, you know,
Like an after school special?
kinda. It's all done in 2-part specials, and each one sort of deals with a different theme. Skins really just seems like a few writers showed up in a room and went, okay, what's the worst story from your childhood? Good. How do we put all of those together? I mean, okay, I'm going to give you like one of the biggest, best spoilers. So if you really just are going to trust me on Skins, seriously cover your ears right now. But fucking end of season 1, you have this kid named Tony throughout the whole first season is just sort of like the embodiment of chaos. Tony does not give a fuck. Tony just does whatever he wants to do at that point in time, whether it's good for his friends, bad for his friends, good for him, bad for him, hurts feelings, helps people, literally. Whatever. Like, Tony literally just, he's not even gay, and he starts making out with his gay friend just to fuck with his gay friend's mind.
Okay.
He just does shit just to see how people will react. And then Tony's finally having this blow up with like his best friend and his girlfriend, and he starts telling them they're all pieces of shit and he doesn't need them, and he's gonna go live this better life, and then he gets hit by a fucking bus.
Huh.
That and like literally that's the first season ends with Tony literally just being slammed by a bus.
Okay, now, real question. And more spoilers. Does he come back for season 2?
So this is not something to get used to in this show. Tony actually does come back, but has a whole like, wow, that was literally a karma bus, and I have so much shit to do to not be such a shitty person in the future.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the guy tries, but like bridges are burnt. People don't give a
Yeah.
fuck that homeboy got hit. Like, well, some people do, and most other seasons involve several characters dying. There is in fact an entire season revolving around a creepy teacher abducting students, and the season literally fucking ends with him keeping a girl locked in a room while he murders her boyfriend, only for that fucking boyfriend's best friend to show up and murder the serial killer for murdering his boyfriend. or murdering his best friend. Sorry, not his boyfriend, his best friend. But still, like that show just go like it starts off like, oh, they're kids and they smoke a little too much pot and ditch school, and then by the end of it, they're like overdosing on drugs, murdering each other in the woods, and like committing grand larceny.
That, you know what? That feels a lot like
High school.
well, I was gonna say, huh? Yes, we went to the same high school. We know the same criminals, and some of them now have kids and are upstanding citizens.
A lot of them do.
Some of them.
Well,
but no, I was gonna say that remind. Damn, now I don't remember what it reminded me of. You son of a bitch.
You're welcome.
You broke me.
Yeah, no, that like that's one you could actually watch with your wife, Eduardo, because it's more like it is drama, but it's good drama because the whole time you're like, oh, you little kids just fucking up your life. You gotta stop it, little boy. And they don't.
And they don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little too slice of life, like Scandalous. Not Scandalous. What was the other one? Another British show.
Wow, that narrows it down.
No. It was another British show. I thought it's got McAfee in it. Shameless.
Shameless. I like the British Shameless. I hate the American Shameless.
I've seen some of the episodes of the British Shameless. I didn't even bother with the American.
The American's terrible, but the British is really good.
So,
also, do not watch the American Skins. It's so bad. MTV did it, and like they tried to do like hit the broad strokes, but they changed so much that it just sort of became insulting to like certain demographics.
Oh no.
It was like no, it was really bad. It was almost as bad as the American Being Human, which is also really bad. Or the American IT Crowd, which is also really bad.
I never saw the American IT Crowd. I haven't been
you
able
can
to
get on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's what I'm gonna do right after we finish this.
You know what else you should absolutely watch because you can get the first episode on YouTube? Do you know that there was a Clerks live action TV show done by the Disney Channel?
No shit.
Yes.
You need to send me these motherfucking links.
Let me see what I can find.
Because I'm a glutton for fucking punishment.
You talk about a thing.
So, I have been playing
Oh god,
Quantum
I forgot. Like, even
Break.
from the thumbnail, Jim Brewer's in it.
Oh, that's funny. I have been playing Quantum Break, and I'm not going to do a full review on it, but I just want to say I love and I hate the fact that at the end of every chapter, you get a mini fucking movie. I hate it, and I love
Kingdom Heartsy, and it is. It's pretty bad.
It's a bit much because when sometimes like me, you have a limited fucking time for gaming, and then you have to take a break from playing the fucking game to watch a goddamn interactive movie. A bit of a problem, but I love you because it's so creative, and I hope more narrative-driven games do it. But I hate you because I don't have time for you. Was that enough talking about something else?
Well, I'm still trying to find you the American IT Crowd one.
All right.
That one might have been taken down. I can find one where they sync it up with the original and you watch them side by side, but it is almost a shot-for-shot remake, and yet weirdly, it still does not work at all. It doesn't work.
That's funny.
It even has Joel McHale, who I like. I find Joel McHale funny.
You know, it's weird.
It doesn't work.
For me, Joel McHale, it's hit or miss. In certain things, I think he's fantastic. In others, I'm like, yeah, I just, no magic. Like the Joel McHale show, I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
All right.
He got famous doing this one thing, and that one thing isn't really my favorite thing, but like Community I love. Him like
same.
Doing actual like episodes of other shows, he's always really good in.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not into his style of free talk. I like him as a character. I don't think I like him as an actor then.
That's fair. Oh, okay, I can see what happened. It was like officially taken down.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Damn.
A lot of people were really upset about doing it even. But you can watch that Clerks one. It's not, I'm warning you, it's not good.
Wait, why were people upset about doing it?
because they were kind of doing this, like they were doing a shot-for-shot remake with the American, but the tone was just off, and it was really obvious it wasn't gonna work here. It's just a different kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't crass enough, and it wasn't in your face enough.
Well, and a lot of that, like, a lot of their jokes just revolved around commentary on Britain as a whole, which don't translate super well to
Yeah,
commentary on America as a whole.
some of the fire gags, the Made in Britain stuff.
Exactly.
And, yeah,
We don't look at our stuff the same way they look at their stuff.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair though, I've watched the entire IT Crowd, and that's a series that I'm like, I think it ended when it needed to.
Yeah, I do love the show, but we got enough of it. We're good.
Yeah.
It's like Mighty Boosh, though honestly, I could use a season.
That's just because you're nostalgic.
I love Mighty Boosh. Actually, they are working on something together, and the rumor is it's more Boosh.
Okay. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, do we need a Scrubs reunion? And then I think of that last season, and I go, we probably don't need a Scrubs reunion.
I've actually been liking some of like the reunion script reads that shows have been doing online. Like they get the cast back together and they just read a script for an episode that like doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually been enjoying them.
Okay. I think they're fun, and I think they're nifty, but I'd rather them just do another episode.
Yeah, well, I don't know about. It's hard to just produce one episode. I'm cool with like an online script read.
It's fun. Maybe then what they should do is they should do an animated one shot. Because I could get more into that.
I'd be into that.
Yeah. Like hire me, Hollywood. I've got great ideas. I'll bring them to you.
We've got tens of them.
Tens of them. There's dozens of us.
Dozens.
I was just talking about Arrested Development with actually the D&D crew, and yeah, some folks are like, yeah, no, that shit was hilarious. Other folks are like, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's crazy. I've gone and rewatched it, except the revival. Because that reminded me of remakes. That fucking revival was gross. It was dumb. I hated it.
See, I didn't make it through the original, so
like there are some hilarious episodes, like the whole Hermano. I know you're not gonna get it, but like he falls in love with his brother's girlfriend or fiance, right? And the brother has been pretending that he speaks Spanish, which is the language that his fiance speaks, and he doesn't. So he doesn't fucking understand when she talks to him. But I think she like lets it drop, or he overhears that she has feelings for hermano, but he doesn't know what the fuck that means. So he doesn't realize that it's his brother that she's talking about, and it just like turns into this whole thing.
See, that shows just a lot of awkward comedy, and I don't like awkward comedy.
I don't like cringe, but I'm okay with awkward. And of course, the king of awkward comedy is in this, fucking Michael Cera.
Yeah, I like Michael Cera. I just want him to try something else. Just give anything else a shot. I like just like a guy who has confidence.
I don't know if he could pull it off.
We don't know until we try.
That's true. That's true.
Gotta try. You gotta give it a shot.
Well, did you ever watch? What was it called? This Is the End. Is that what it was called?
Yes, but he's just playing a version of himself.
Yeah, but completely opposite. He wasn't shy. He was confident and dickish.
Yeah, I still feel like that doesn't count.
Why not? What do you want? Outline
because
what you want.
Because it was A, very short, and B, he was just playing he didn't have to lean into any different mannerism. He could just be himself, but all he had to do was curse a lot and read lines that somebody gave him. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I'm not taking away
I
any
was
of
like,
the.
isn't that just
That's
acting?
all acting. Exactly. He's not having to play a character. He's just playing himself. Where like even Jesse Eisenberg, sure, you could just typecast him as like the quintessential nerdy fuck up doof, but he's played a few takes on that or a few divisions from that.
Well, yeah, but so with Eisenberg though, you're talking about an entire character shift. Because look at him in Catch Me If You or Now You See Me.
No, exactly. But Michael Cera has really only played. It's not even like he tried it and failed at it a bunch of times. He's done this one where he played a version of himself, and then nothing but shy, awkward guys.
Okay,
Even as Scott Pilgrim, he's kind of fucking awkward around people.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. But they always try to play it off as him being lovesick.
But I just wanted to like do anything else. Even like it didn't work, but like Topher Grace in Predators, where he was like,
Okay.
I'm a serial killer. Great. That was different for him. He wasn't fucking playing Eric next door. He was playing something totally different. It didn't work, but he tried it. I would like Michael Cera to fucking try it.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't.
Just try it.
To be fair, he might have. I just haven't seen any of the other shit he's been in.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's all in indie projects I've never seen, but I ain't ever seen it. If somebody's got a good one, throw it at me. Please throw it out. I'd love to see, because I do like him. I just want him to do something else.
Fair enough. That's how I used to feel about Jack Black.
Yeah, and then he did shit like Bernie and fucking blew me away. Bernie was so good.
Yeah, I love it when actors can just kind of sneak that up on you. Jim Carrey did that.
Which one did you get it from?
For me, so everyone talks about Truman, right? But when I watched Truman, I hadn't really paid attention. But
Fair.
what is it? Eternal Sunshine of the Nearly
Eternal
Spotless.
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Is it spotless or nearly spotless mind?
Pretty sure it's just spotless. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Okay. That one?
I've actually never seen it.
It's I'm not going to say that it's good or great, but it has a place.
Okay.
Right? Like it's Oh, do you remember the Time Traveler, the one that we saw with Marissa Tomei and oh shit, what's his name? He played he played Fisk in Daredevil, the newest.
Michael Clark Duncan?
No, the newest, the show.
Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, he was in the Time Traveler movie with Melissa Tomei. Do you remember this? Where he's coming, he comes in and he keeps talking about that he's a time traveler from the future, and people.
Happy Accidents?
I think so. Where we thought it was going to be more of a romantic comedy, but it was kind of weird.
You sure? This is another one that does not sound familiar to me at all. You sure it was me you saw it with?
You're the only person I watch fucking this shit with in the civilian world.
Yeah, but you might have watched it on your own, sucker, because this doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah.
Ruby Weaver is weary of her long history of failed relationships with men when she meets Sam Deed, Vincent D'Onofrio, in a park. But after the two fall in love, Ruby becomes suspicious of Sam's past, his obsession with Christy Delancey, and casual effect. Under pressure from her, he finally explains that he is really from the year 2470 and is what he calls a back traveler. Ruby initially ignores the story, considering it yet another case of male nerdy weirdness, but after Sam's persistence, apparent conviction, and growing agitation, she begins to wonder. Finally, she takes him to see her therapist, Meg Ford, played by Holland Taylor. Ruby becomes worried as to Sam's sanity when he reveals that everything he has done was a deliberate attempt to change her life. In the end, both Deed and Ford turn out to be travelers. What? And the fatal accident that would have killed Ruby is avoided. So her therapist has just been... This is stupid. I am not even watching it and I don't like it.
Yeah, so again, it isn't a terrible movie, but it's not a good movie, not a great movie. I think both actors put in a good performance. I just wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
So you understand how I feel of Eternal Sunshine?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So that it was a roundabout way of saying that. But I do feel that Jim Carrey really came through.
All right.
Yeah. Also, Jesus, what's his name? Hugh Jackman is a fantastic actor and a great singer.
You know what's funny? Jay from the Bias Bros podcast, alternating Thursdays, uh,
Boom.
finally saw Real Steel and pinged out of nowhere and was like, "Why the fuck is Real Steel so good? That movie has no business being as good as it is. What the
Rock'em
actual
Sock'em
fuck?"
Robots.
But it's so good.
Yes, it is a good family flick.
It really is.
Yeah, it should be a classic, just like, well, I guess back in my day, like Homeward Bound and all those. It's just a dad trying to do right by his kid.
Yeah. And
That's
it works.
Yeah.
It just works. The kid isn't
Yeah.
super annoying. The robot is fun. The whole movie and it has no business working, but it does.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but The Fountain,
No, I haven't.
you really need to see it.
No, I did see it, and it was very confusing.
It was the same story, a journey of grief and just kind of what happens in life, told
Sure.
by told in the frame of reference of three different beings tied by a single cosmic cord, I would say, in three different time periods.
You know what? It was better than fuck, I think it's even the Wachowskis who fucking do it.
Oh, Atlas Shrugged?
Yeah,
Cloud Atlas?
Cloud Atlas. Good fucking god, that was bad.
I've never seen it. I hear good things about that. What was wrong with that
It
one?
had individual performances that were really good,
Mm-hmm.
but the movie itself was just like disjointed, heavy-handed, and unnecessary.
And not good.
It didn't do it. A bunch of people really brought their A game, and the makeup was on another level, transforming people into like genders and ethnicities that they fucking weren't. I'm like, seriously, there was points where I was like, there's no way that is this person, but it was, But just as a movie,
You know what
not
movie I kind of felt that way about? Do you remember Southland Tales?
I don't think I saw it.
Oh, come on. You know what? We saw so many fucking movies from that Hollywood video around the corner from that apartment that I think they're all starting to fucking blend. But this one
Might.
even had, I believe, even Kevin Smith's in this.
Really?
He plays he has a cameo. I know The Rock's in it. It's William Scott's in it, I believe.
His name is Sean William Scott.
I was close.
And yes, it does appear that he is in it. Let's see. Wow, am I in the right movie? It's just like all these people who I've never heard of are billed way higher than anybody I've actually heard of.
Oh, that's weird.
Like top billing, Carlos Emezqua, Curtis Armstrong, Robert Bentz, Todd Berger, Joe Campana, Chris Andrew Ciula, Rebecca Del Rio, Aaron Diller, Nora Dunn.
I have no idea who any of these people are.
Exactly. Then, after a while, you get to Janine Garofalo, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Dwayne Johnson, John Lovitz,
No?
Andy Moore, Amy Poehler. Yeah, there's a bunch of people in this. Will fucking Sasso, Sean William Scott is in it. Wallace Shawn is in it. Kevin Smith is in it. No, I don't think I've seen this, though.
So it was a near future story, at least, because it was three different stories. I believe that they kind of sort of tie together at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, it had a lot of good performances, some good makeup, and it just didn't
5.4 out of 10, yeah.
Yeah, it did not work.
All right. Well, on that depressing note, play us out.
All right. Check us out Tuesdays on twitch.tv/Metagame Network. The multiplayer stream is going to continue as long as it possibly can. That's not true. It's going to continue until I get absolutely sick of it, and then I quit. Uh, also, Bias Bros every other Thursday, as Bonsai pointed out just a second ago. Check us out there. I know we've been a little bit late on the Podbean releases, but we are on Podbean, also on iTunes in 5D podcasts. Check out the show live Mondays, normally 7 to 8, running a little late today, on YouTube in 5D podcast. On that note, final words, Bonsai.
Sorry for the bummer at the beginning. Didn't mean to bum no one out, yo.
Goodbye, Clops.
Bye, buddy.